That was outstanding. That's 2 nights in a row. Really entertaining, well-played baseball. We caught the ball. I mean, first of all, Kyle was outstanding. We caught the ball. We made so many good plays tonight where they had beat us, I think, defensively last night. We possibly beat them defensively tonight. And then beyond all that, I will take the slide. Chris Coughlin's slide into second base right there is vital. And that's what I'm talking about. When we understand all that stuff, that it's not just about getting a hit. If we could play the entire game properly for 9 innings, which I think we did tonight, that's how you win. You have to play the game that way to win or beat good teams, and that's what I saw. I was really, really pleased with our effort, and then finally, of course, Addison being able to play it on both sides of the ball as well as he did. I know he's going to leave here very happy tonight.
You talk about process a lot. The home run by Bryant was impressive in itself, but the process of getting here from 0-2 to 3-2.
Yes, 0-2 to 3-2, laying off some really nasty stuff down and away. I think there was one really Bernie Carbo foul ball involved in that whole moment. And then eventually, did it hit the scoreboard? We thought it was over the board. I missed it to the left? Okay. We thought I thought it was over the board. I mean, it was really pummeled, and that was kind of got everybody staring a little bit.
And no ill effects with Hendricks coming off the complete game.
No, listen, I mean, gosh. He gives up the home run to Harper, which is unfortunate, and otherwise he's going back out there. There's no question. If Coughlin gets on to start that inning, he was going to bunt him over and still be in the game. But I thought at that moment, you have with their bullpen, you got to try to do whatever you can to win the game in that particular slot. We had Stropey real fresh, Rondon relatively fresh, so I liked that too. So that part of it made it somewhat easier, but it's tough to take a guy out of a game later. That's the National League moment. American League, of course, he possibly pitches 9 innings tonight.
Talked about it in the pregame, building the tenacity of this team, these one-run games, just keeps building confidence for you guys.
Yeah. You got to believe you can do it. You got to believe. If something bad happens during the course of the game, you got to know that you could overcome it. You have to know that. And that you only overcome it by process, staying with it and working it and working it and working it, and not just basically not giving up. I mean, it's not really complicated. It's kind of simple, and that's the point I've been trying to get across. It's not a complicated issue, and the more basic we can become in our approach, the more successful we'll become.
You're still kind of new to Wrigley, so you saw Harper's ball going toward left. Did you think that had a chance?
I had no idea. I mean, I knew he hit it well, but it was straight up. Definitely, obviously, a wind ate it, but that's we had the same opportunities to do the same thing. I'm just watching the left fielder is what I was doing, and it started looking bad. He was starting to drift, and it was going over, and it's just one of those moments, man. But 3-2, wind blown straight out. Pretty good pitching on both sides.
We don't know you. How many gears do you have in your managing? I mean, if you were a big truck of some sort, how many gears do you have as we watch?
I have a 6-speed Tremec out there in my Chevelle, and it's the smoothest shifting transmission I've ever experienced in my life. I want to be a 6-speed Tremec if I can.
Do you ever get lost in amazement when you look around that infield? Everybody's under 26 with just the amount of sheer talent that they have and that they bring.
Well, when you look at it, I mean, there's moments I'm sure everybody gets frustrated watching us because you think that they should be doing better. But there's the answer right there. We're gonna continue to get better as we gain more experience. If you could put your scouts hat on and look at these guys, I'm even saying a year and a half, 2 years at the most from now, what they're going to look like. It's a dramatic difference. It's like the difference between being a sophomore and a senior in high school, or a freshman and a junior senior. It's the same thing. They're going to get the work under their belts. They're going to start really understanding the game here. Confidence is going to grow, and you're going to see all of this ability really blossom. I just love what they're doing. Our guys are doing right now. What do I mean? They're competing. If there's one thing you want your group to do every night is to compete, and I really believe we're competing, even if it doesn't. We have a punch out, fail to score the runner. I still believe we're competing, and I love that. As we're competing, we're going to learn to differentiate or discern what pitches to swing at or not. We're not going to make routine errors by trying to turn a double play when only one out is possible. All those things come with experience, but I love our effort.
Do you see Russell, the plays he made short in spring training now, maybe making them similar at second because he's more comfortable?
Well, he's definitely going to his right more comfortably. That's big, and he's getting back up on his feet and throwing the ball well. I think that's, going to your left, I think, as a second baseman, not your gloves on that side. It's not so, I don't want to say it's not so hard, but it's a more routine play in a sense, even if you were to dive and it's a shorter throw. But you're going to your right, going away from the whole thing. You got to get it and get up and throw it quickly, especially if the guy can run. There's a lot going on that play, and he's done that several times already really well. In the beginning, I think he was trying to get in front of it, two-handing it. The backhand for a second baseman, even more than the shortstop, to me, the angle of the play is a very tough play.
What have you seen from Hendricks these last two starts that has led to more success?
The sinker on the outside edge to the righties, the changeup more often. I just think overall better location of his pitches. Same guy, just better execution. I think that's what I'm seeing.
Joe, you talk about that growth, you talk about the potential for some of these young guys. What do you see specifically for Addison Russell that you get excited about?
Oh, it's just, again, you have to understand that this guy's just turned 21. Most of the time, those guys are in Double-A or even sometimes A-ball. And they're making all these mistakes or swinging at bad sliders in Davenport, or which I love Davenport, by the way. I played there. Or say Salinas, and I do love Salinas, and I did play. That's where you make these mistakes, but he's making them here. He's making them here in front of everybody with cameras and newspapers. And so he doesn't understand. It's not easy to fight through that at that age with that lack of experience. His his mental toughness is really incredible to me, how he's fought through all these kind of difficult moments for himself. He's not used to failing. He's always been the lead bull. So as you're watching him specifically, and all of our guys blossom, understand where they're at developmentally, understand where a lot of guys that age are, that experience level are. They're not here. They're in some obscure place without the spotlight on them, learning their craft. He's having to do it on the fly here, and he's doing a great job.
So there's been a summer weather pattern the last couple of nights with the wind blowing out.
Yeah.
How much of a revelation still is this?
Well, again, like I'm saying, I've managed in Midland, Texas. Right, and that is much more severe than this. And I know it's Double-A, but the big thing about that, it was so hard to get your pitchers to pitch inside. And then you talk about Coors, the power pitcher that can miss a bat, the guy that can put the ball on the ground. Kyle could put the ball on the ground. And tonight Kyle's missing some bats too. I think it's about execution of pitch. When the ballpark gets in the pitcher's head, I think Fergie Jenkins did pretty well here. I think Lee Smith did pretty good here. I mean, there's a lot of guys that have done pretty well here. So it's about execution and not worrying about the things you cannot control. I think a lot's made of that. I get it. I understand why. But for our guys to be successful, they cannot permit that to be part of their preparation. Oh, the wind's blowing out. They got to still go out there and make pitches, and I think that's what you're seeing. Both sides did a great job for 2 nights.